J.
Welcome to the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. I'm your host, Jay Rill. We're glad to have you on this Friday edition of the Average Joe Sports Talk Show. Let's just dive right on in. We have so much information to try and give to you all there in YouTube land. First and foremost, again, Aaron Hernandez was arrested and charged with the murder, first-degree murder of the victim in the murder there. Now, the last show we didn't have all the information. We weren't sure if they were going to charge him with obstruction of justice or destroying evidence. No. They went full-blown bore after this guy, charging him with first-degree murder. Now, I personally watched the indictment there, the charges. I watched everything go down, and it's amazing how dumb this guy really is. I mean, the evidence was laid out, the story, the scenario, the reasoning was all laid out in court, and if this is all true, the way that the district attorney laid this out, this is the biggest botched crime, murder, whatever you want to call it, in the history of crimes. First of all, the guy is killing people in rent-a-cars in his name. So not only does he have the victims in his rent-a-car in his name, but they're finding expended bullet shell casings of the crime in the rent-a-car in his name. I mean, if you're going to kill somebody, pick up the expended shells so they don't just fly all over the place. Crime scene, rent-a-car, front shirt pocket. I mean, this guy, it's just amazing. The evidence that the trail there's no way the trail could not lead to this guy in Hernandez. Everything pointed to this guy. First, he saw on video camera, his own surveillance camera, with a handgun, a Glock 45. Then they find shell casings for a 45 at the murder scene, and then in his rent-a-car in his name. Then the body is thrown and discarded. Actually, the crime itself happened not a mile away from Aaron Hernandez's house. Things are just snowballing on this guy when it comes to this murder. Excuse me. Now, let's just go a little bit beyond this. Now they're starting to arrest his friends and associates that could have been involved with this crime. How long do you think it's going to take for these guys to start rolling on him, because they're going to get charged with accessory to murder and could spend the rest of their life in prison? Yeah, probably about that long. 2 seconds. These guys are going to be singing like canaries. They're going to be rolling on this guy. This spells doom. Let's just look at the Michael Vick situation. Michael Vick was swearing up and down that he didn't have nothing to do with this crime. He had nothing to do with his cousins. All he did was rent the house, had no idea what was going on there. How long did it take? Exactly 2 seconds before his own family was rolling on him and putting everything on him. Same scenario is going to happen in this case, except this is a murder case. This isn't Hernandez going away for 2 years. This is Hernandez going away for possibly 25 years to life for murder. Oh, and let's go a little bit deeper. Now they're trying to pin a double murder that happened 6-7 months ago, a drive-by shooting in the same area, on Hernandez. Again, this is just getting worse and worse for this 20-year-old millionaire football player. This guy, I can't even explain how monumentally insane this guy has to be to think that he could get away with not only possibly other murders, but this murder that just happened right down the road from his house. Wow, this case just keeps getting better and better and better as it evolves, as the snowball starts to build on Aaron Hernandez. Before long, we might find out where Jimmy Hoffa is, because Aaron Hernandez might have killed the guy and buried him himself. Who knows? This guy's just so wrapped up in all these crimes. They're going to be pinning every murder that happened in a 20-block, 20-mile radius of his home. They're going to be pinning it on this guy. Guarantee it. Anyway, moving on from that, it's pretty sad. We'll just keep you involved with or keep you tuned in and updated on any information we get. But as of for right now, Aaron Hernandez is in jail. He was denied any kind of getting out, any kind of release, even with the thought of putting him on house arrest. Judge says no way, isn't going to happen. So he's locked up, be going through trial. It's just kind of funny how his lawyer, what's he going to do? How's he going to say, hey, dude, what are you, an idiot? Take the bullets out of your rent-a-car of the bullets that murdered the guy before you return it in, and then have some poor lady cleaning up bullets that killed somebody. It's just going to be amazing to see the defense, what kind of defense attorney he's going to have in the trial. It's just amazing. Anyway, moving on from that, the NBA draft just occurred, and man, what a big splash the Cleveland Cavaliers made. Why? They drafted Anthony Bennett from UNLV. No one even knows who this guy is. No one even had him in the top 3 or 4 on their draft board, and he gets taken number 1 by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, what does this mean? This guy, he's a bigger guy, big body guy. Everyone's saying with this pick, there goes the idea that LeBron James next year will be coming to the Cleveland Cavaliers. People, please stop. If you're in Cleveland, and if you're a Cleveland Cavalier fan, and you want LeBron James back on your team, you're an idiot. Because I don't know about you, I'm not even a Cleveland fan. I'm definitely not from Cleveland. And I don't want LeBron James back in Cleveland. He totally sold you guys out. He totally kicked you guys under the bus and left you high and dry when it came time to really put up or shut up as a leader and as a person that's supposed to take this team to the promised land, and you want him back. That's a slap in the face. And if I was the owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'd be on the radio, talk shows, newspapers right now saying, I don't want that piece of crap back in my jersey. I don't want that guy back in our stadium. He screwed it up. He sold us out, sold his soul. Now he's over in Miami winning championships, which, hey, that's what he wanted to do. That's what he went there for. Good for him. Don't take him back in Cleveland. There's no way possible that he should ever be allowed to wear a Cleveland Cavalier shirt, jersey, whatever you want to call it, again. But getting back to the draft, Anthony Bennett, first-round pick. Second goes to Victor Oladipo. I can't even pronounce it, but anyway, he went to the Magic. And this guy's a good perimeter person, good perimeter defender. He'll be able to really shake some things up there in for the Magic. Excuse me. So we hope to see what he does next year and next season for them. Third goes to Otto Porter. He goes to the Wizards, and this guy again, very good defensive player. Should make things a little bit of adjustment there for them in the Wizards. And come on, Wizards, they need some defense. So good for them. And then fourth goes Cody Zeller. He goes to the Bobcats. Now, this guy, he's a good all-around player, but man, he does not like to get in the paint and bang around with those big guys. That's going to be the testament to them to see if their coaching staff can get him down in the paint, down in the battle zone, and banging it out with the other big men in the NBA. There's your top 4 picks. Now, what happened to I can't even pronounce this guy's name. Norlewis Noel. He was the big man from Kentucky. Was supposed to go first round, dropped all the way. I'm sorry, not first round, first pick. He dropped all the way down to sixth position. Experts are saying the reason why he dropped so far back in the draft is because of his entourage. With all this going on with Hernandez, what happened with Michael Vick, what's happening with all these star athletes is their friends are dictating to these teams and owners if they want to draft them and where they want to draft them. If you have shady friends, guess what? The team probably thinks you're going to end up doing shady stuff. And sure enough, if Hernandez is, I just can't see how the evidence is not going to go against him the way that they're laying it out. But again, you're innocent until proven guilty. But in today's society, I don't know about that. It seems like if you're not guilty of a crime, why don't you get bailed out? It's a good question, right? If you're not guilty, why are you getting fired from your job when you just have these charges put on you? It seems like in our today's society, you're guilty until proven innocent. And that's why Hernandez is in jail, won't get bail because he's not innocent until proven guilty. They think he did it. He has to prove he didn't for them to let him out. So it's all reversed. And then it goes into the draft and it goes into the NFL as well. When you get drafted, if you have shady friends and they have investigators that are looking at your records, at your financials, at your friends, at your families, at your girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, gonna-be girlfriends, and if they think you have a really problem in your background or in who you have in your entourage, it's going to cost you, and it costs Noel. Cost him 5 positions in the draft. That's millions of dollars. Sorry, Noel. Pick better friends. You might have went first. Moving on, he did come out in an interview and say that his friends and family are nothing but positive role models and influences in his life. Unfortunately, the owners and the scouts that did all the research on this guy believe otherwise. And I strongly feel that's why he dropped so much in the draft. Sorry, Noel. Hang in there, though. Maybe you'll make a big splash in the NBA next season. Okay. That's all I got for sports for this week, but man, I have to bring this out because it's been bothering me all freaking week. This Paula Dean story where she was released from the Food Network, people are asking for her head on a plate because she said a few racial slurs in her lifetime. The lady has already came out and said that she's not a racist. I believe she's not a racist, but because she said a few racial slurs to a certain ethnic group, all of a sudden this lady is the freaking devil in waiting. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Leave the lady alone. So what? Who cares she said a few racial slurs? Is this not America? Are we not allowed to say what we want to say? Is this turning into Russia now, where you say something? I have friends all the time that call me Mexican, spick, wetback. You know what? So what? Who cares? Are we still so not just narrow-minded that one racial, two racial, a handful of racial slurs is going to make somebody a bad person? Half the time racial slurs are done in a positive way. Come on. How many times do you hear certain things? And please, the word gay doesn't always have to be the devil's word. So what someone says, that's so gay. Maybe that's a gay. Gay means happy. Maybe it's a happy thing. Come on, people. Stop worrying about words and let's focus on the hungry. Let's focus on the starving children that don't have roofs over their heads or a family that tuck them in at night. Let's worry about the drugs that are overrunning our country and the freaking poverty. Instead, we're worrying about the N-word. I don't know about you folks, but I hear that word every day, multiple times a day. And most of the time, it's from the black community referring to themselves. Now it seems like the word is starting to mean something completely different. Friend, acquaintance, buddy, associate, someone that you like, someone that you like to be around. It's a greeting. Really, I mean, this is so retarded. Leave the lady alone. You know what? If I own the Food Network, I wouldn't have a problem with the lady saying racial slurs because you know what? It's a free country, and at least she's communicating. What's the big deal? Why is it that it's only about a certain ethnic group and the gay community that if you say anything negative or have any slurs towards them, you're the devil in the sheep's clothing? But you could say anything else about Mexicans, about Irish, about Native Americans. You could say whatever you want about anyone else. It's just ridiculous, folks. We have too many other things to be worrying about besides racial slurs. We're beyond that. We should be way beyond that. And that's all I can say about that. I'm going to get off my soapbox because I could spend a whole show on saying so freaking what, the N-word, the Mexican word, the freaking wetback word. It's their words. My gosh, leave people alone. It's a free country. Say what you want. If you're not physically hurting somebody, then leave them the hell alone. My gosh. Okay, that's our Friday show. Paula Dean, you hang in there, girl. I back you up on any kind of words you want to say. It's a free country. Average Joe Sports Talk Show believes in the right and the freedom of speech. You can carry your weapon with you. You have the right to protect yourself. You have a right. This is America. And Average Joe Sports Talk Show is going to end the show with saying, thank the Player Zone as our... Jeez, I just totally forgot. Our sponsors. Thank you. We got our in-house clerk here. He's going to run out and give me some cold beverage because it is like 100 degrees in Ruidoso, New Mexico. That is unheard of in today's time. It should be like 85. Anyway, Player Zone sponsor, thank you guys for the house, hooking us up. Thank you for giving me a platform and a stage to come on here. And today's show is exactly why we do what we do. Because we got to call bullcrap on all those people out there that are making this country bad by keeping people scared to say what they want to say and be the way they want to be. Parents should be allowed to spank their kids. It's America. What is going on? Paula Dean, good for you for speaking your mind. You don't have to be a racist to say a few shady words directed to some sort of ethnicity. Color of people. Doesn't matter if you're brown, white, green, blue, whatever. You should say what you want to say. Amen to that. J Real signing out before I blow up here. Don't miss next week's shows. Thank you for tuning in. Let's just cut on over to the Scud with our outro music. Peace and much love. J Real out. J